Hi, this is Sujay Kumar Bagchi. I give you a small introduction about texturing and what is its various aspects. Now, what is texturing? In 3D, we several times call we have to do texturing. The term the texturing is a technical aspect. Now, the process by which we can assign a two-dimensional platform or image on projection to a three-dimensional object, that is called basically a texturing. Now, when I am talking to you, it's quite hard to understand what exactly happening. Like what is the 2D projection, what exactly the 3D object, and how it gonna incorporate with both of these. For that, we have to taken care about some 3D softwares like 3D Max, Maya. So I am certainly show you how to texturing in Maya as well as in respect of this usage of the two-dimensional platforms. Now, when you want to know like what are the usage or the application of texture. Now, basically, when we create something asset for our gaming, for our entertainment, animation, or any other VFX projects. Like for example, if I want to create a small character with a small toy gun. Now, the character should looks like a cartoonic form, and the toy gun also a cartoonic form. Now, unless we are not putting exactly the color of hair, color of body, color of eyes, color of t-shirt, shirt, or trousers, or obstacles, or what we have, or maybe the gun which the character holding. Like that is very important and basic feature that we have to put some colors. It may be red, it may be yellow, it may be different things. Sometimes what we can do, we can even paint the facial expressions or the patches or the cut marks, bleed marks, or the design on the shirt or t-shirt manually, like pen and paper. We can scan them out and we can take to a different tool called Photoshop and we can edit them. So somehow they are all made up with two-dimensional axis. One is X, another is Y, like a sheet or paper. Okay, so if somebody want to create one 3D model and try to put the same projection paper on that particular object, so this is quite impossible to do. So the tricks is that by the process of texturing we can able to make it. Now when I just talk about texturing, there are several things that definitely comes in that cell. Now what are those things? Texturing is always related with the surface of the object as well as the lighting of the source. Like if I am standing in a room, so I have two light sources, or even I have a monitor which is illuminate a bit of, or maybe different things, or even I have a lighter on my hand, I can light it up, and so the volume of light will cast on me. And depending on that platform, how the surface is, looks glossy surface, is the texture is rough, so that will interact with that light. So the surface is very important. Now when we jump to the software, we will learn a bit of things like materials, shaders, and UVW projections. So those are the basic fundamental rules that you have to know if you want to create one texturing or if you want to perform the process called texturing. So we discussed all about texturing before. So right now is the time that we can go inside the software and we can try to understand what exactly happening. Okay, so let's go. So first of all, we I have some folder here for textures. There are plenty of textures over there. Those are basically flattened outputs, like a coin, tails and heads, like a apple texture. It's a flattened surface. Another thing is that it's a Coca-Cola can, which is also a label, top cap, back cap, flattened surface. Basically, those are not 3D, those are 2D. Again, we have a very simple and fine outcomes. So these are the things that this is basically 3D subject, and this one is basically a 2D image. So now when I mix them up and we get a solution called three-dimensional output, like whole area, we have some noise here, this area. So that noise has been cast to the body of that particular three-dimensional object. Okay, this is the smooth surface, this is the rough or bumpy surface. Again, we have a black dot here, and that dot is connected to that area, so it's looking like that. So what do we understand? So if I want to use one two-dimensional structure on a three-dimensional structure, and somehow we can able to project it, then we can get this kind of good outcomes. Okay, so that's the thing, that this is called 2D part implanted to the 3D object are called texturing, and the output is something like that. Now again, one thing is that if you want to create that kind of element here, and if I want to create that coin, I have to build that thing. So that's all. If you come to that UV, which is very important, UV layouts, without it we cannot able to do much good way. The outcomes will never good. So come to this UV editor, we have plenty of option there. So if I directly select any of this material, which is very a common material called blane on it, and add that particular image, the coin image on it, so we can use this. So when I press a button from the keyboard, we can get that output, but this is not good. We don't able to understand what exactly it is. So definitely why? Because these cap sections are not properly matched with this. So what we have to do, we have to let them place proper way. Maybe top section should be that one, and bottom section should be that one. And then I gonna scale them out so that they can mix match proper way. So then we can get the final output like this. So these are the basic principles of texturing. If you are not want to do that, you cannot able to get the proper outcomes. See, it's looking nice, and we can also able to rotate every aspect of it. Like we can rotate in every sides, and we can get that thing. So this is a very small example of UVW mapping, and is very important to all of us. So that's all. And if you want much more complex things, that I can show you one more example, which is also good. So let's start it to that one also. I just want to make one Coca-Cola can, which we already have the image for references on. And now I just want to give some segmentation, like here, there, and there. I don't need too much things, but almost I can able to make them. Now I have to select it and again put one new material on it, depending on the coin system. Because before we are just learning the coin, exactly the same thing, that we are gonna put a new material. Yeah, this one. And when I press the button from the keyboard, this is not looking good because it's not been aligned proper way. So come back to the UV section again. So what I have to do, we have to select them each part. This is the top portion, and this is the bottom portion. I should check the button portion here, and I should put the top portion exactly in this location, and the rest of it, which is called the level section. What happening, this is a cylindrical portion, so we have to cut through the part and unwrap this, then we can fix it as a two-dimensional way, which I can use, like we can just do flatten and all, align it and place a bit exactly in center and scale them out so that it's mix match with the data and all. Now, what I can see is looking good. It's a Coca-Cola can. I do not put too much attention on the modeling and all right now. The focus target is the texturing. So this is the UW projection. So this is a very fundamental rules. Hope you can understand, and thank you.